Well, all right. So it was just announced that the Colts made the controversial decision to decide to bench Anthony Richardson, going with 40-year-old Joe Flacco, who they have had more success with. And so I wanted to make a film study breaking down what happened with Richardson. Why did he ultimately get benched here? Let's get into it. I'm going to start off with some positives, because there were some positives. This was not I mean, again, you look at the stat line and see that he had 10 receptions on 31 attempts. That's not ideal, but there were some good plays. Like, for example, this one. It's a zone coverage concept. You see how this route could potentially get open, kind of just underneath the corners zone right there. Richardson's going to take the snap. He's going to run a play action. There is going to be some pressure, but he kind of navigates it pretty well. There isn't a huge window right here. This is definitely a difficult throw to make. However, he makes it pretty accurately. Well, good defense. Again, sometimes the ball gets knocked out. What are you going to do as a quarterback? But, I thought that was a pretty good play by Richardson. There definitely were some positive highlights. This one as well, where what's going to happen is, kind of big play here. 3rd down and 10. Would love to make it a touchdown drive right here. You have Anani Mitchell running a deep shot in a one-on-one matchup. Sure, he's someone who has speed. Let's see what he can do. Richardson takes the snap. He's going to look in that direction. He fires in that direction. And as of right here, you see the safety's trying to get over in position to make a play, but he can't quite get over quick enough. There isn't a huge window. Derek Stingley, he's the one who had that pass batted out earlier. He's a great corner. Watch as Mitchell actually makes that grab. It was a nice throw. Mitchell just couldn't get his feet in bounds. So, there are some good plays. If people say that there are no positives with Anthony Richardson, they're just lying. This play, what's going to happen is you see that he navigates the pressure, again, makes a bit of a throw that was admittedly a bit behind, I think is fair to say. But still, given the pressure and everything, throwing a catchable ball on this one is, in my opinion, impressive. You had this one, which was a really good throw, and just, receiver kind of dropped that one. But then also this play where you're going to see a really good throw, and this is not a drop. This is a great catch, great throw and catch. That put them at the 1-yard line, was not ruled a touchdown, but helped them get this touchdown to bring them back within 3. So there absolutely were some very good plays here by Richardson. There were. And just to talk about the rushing real quick, we don't have to get into it too much. We all know he's a good runner, but I'll still bring it up. 4th down and 3 here. Again, down 10 points. Really need to get a score right here. Richardson takes the snap. Everyone out is able to make their blocks. These are plays that you don't have in the playbook when Joe Flacco's out there. You do have them when Anthony Richardson is out there. So, yeah, there's some good stuff here with Richardson. But there is a lot of bad, and I actually want to kind of use some PFF grades right here in this video, which I know aren't everyone's cup of tea. But looking right here, these are Anthony Richardson's Pro Football Focus grades for his first 2 seasons. Last year, it was a 52.2. This year, he's currently sitting at 48.7. His passing grade is also under 50. These are bad grades. Usually 60 passer rating for quarterbacks. That's kind of right around what backup quarterbacks are doing. So this is below backup quarterback level right now. I'm bringing this up because I think a lot of what I hear from people who are defenders of Richardson is they'll say, well, Josh Allen, that's kind of the comparison that gets used, right? And I think there's a fair argument against that, just simply saying, are you chasing an outlier if you're going after Josh Allen? Usually a Josh Allen scenario does not happen where he struggles at the beginning of his career and then takes a massive jump after year 2. But also, you look at Allen's PFF grades, he's significantly higher than where Anthony Richardson was at this point. It's over 10 points higher both seasons, and, I think he also did just show more flashes, and that's just, totally up to being subjective there. But there is a bit of a gap. And in fact, the closer comparison for Richardson, I think, would be this player's stats. You see, 59.3 in the rookie year. That was a little bit better than Richardson's rookie year, but year 2 is right around the same, 46.6, whereas Richardson was 48.7. These are Zach Wilson's PFF grades. Keep in mind, Zach Wilson was also benched a little bit later on in the season, but around this same time. I think that's probably the better example for me. So, okay, those are PFF grades, those are numbers. Plenty of you might have just skipped past that. But let's get back into the film. What is the issue? Why are those grades fair? Because, hey, PFF grades are kind of subjective. They could be wrong, right? Let's watch it for ourselves. And yeah, it is. Something like this is an understandable mistake, or an understandable play he didn't make, I probably should say. But 3rd down and 3, you see the route on the screen. Richardson's going to take the snap. There is going to be pressure, and to be honest, he kind of holds onto the ball for too long because he could have gotten rid of that earlier. You see how open his receiver is, but because he was hit, the ball was underthrown. And hey, he was under pressure, did his best on this one. Can't really blame him too much, right? Well, if this was the only missed throw we've seen from him, you couldn't blame him too much. That is very much not the case. Watch. I mean, we're going to get into the missed throw montage here. This one, which might have been a miscommunication, but either way, just nowhere near. This one, nowhere near. You're seeing receivers that give up on these throws because if they don't have a chance. That one was actually an all right throw. That one nearly was caught, but still a touch overthrown. This one he's hit, but throws nowhere near anybody. This one, another one where you're going to see him kind of lob one up and just way behind where he needed to hit. So, there's some bad missed throws in here. Again, some of these are not the worst you've ever seen, but when it's such a low consistency in terms of his hit rate, that's the biggest issue right now. And it's also worth mentioning, heading over here, I mean, this play kind of saved the statistical day for him because this is a 2nd down and 9 situation. Keep in mind, the overall numbers still not good. 10 for 32, 117 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But watch how on this play, you're going to see that Richardson takes the snap, eventually looks down the field, and as of right here, I mean, it's a blown coverage. There's a receiver who's just wide open. Hey, Richardson hits Josh Downs. Josh Downs makes the big play, but this is where 69 of the yards came from. So over a third of his yards came on just a blown coverage. So hey, that's not an insult to him in terms of sometimes your opponents make mistakes. Gotta capitalize on that. He did a good job on this play, but it's just, you can't rely on that is all I'm saying. Because there's also just the turnover thing. I mean, this is just an issue where this is a great example of why it's an issue with Anthony Richardson. It's a 3rd down and 10 situation here for the Colts. So 3rd down and 10, okay, the situation, right? You don't want to punt the ball away, but if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. Richardson's going to take the snap. There is pressure, and the pressure gets to him as of right here. I mean, this play is not looking to be in a very good situation. For the life of me, I don't know why he's going to make this decision. Watch him as he's falling down, just blindly throw one down the field. And listen, that fell incomplete. That ended up working out because it helps you field position-wise. But it's a horrible decision to make because that ball could have really gone anywhere. That could have easily been intercepted. If it was caught, was not going to go for a 1st down anyway. Saving 7 yards of field position when you're about to punt it anyway, that's just not worth the risk. It's just not smart quarterbacking there. And then we got to go over here. So this is a little bit later on in the game. This is a separate drive, despite being at a similar part in the field. It's a 2nd down and 3. You see the route on the screen here for Richardson. And Richardson takes the snap, looks over there. Again, this one on paper, you can kind of see what he likes. But this Texans corner is all over it. It's one that ideally you would have liked to see your quarterback realize this isn't a throw he should make and not make this throw. Instead, he still makes the throw, and it, honestly, easily could have been a pick 6 right there had it just gone a little bit differently. I mean, not an ideal play there. So, okay, hey, it's a mistake. Mistakes are going to happen. But then let's watch the very next play. Watch how over here, so what's going to happen is, all right, kind of a similar situation. They're playing zone coverage. You have a receiver trying to get into a gap in coverage because that's how you beat 3rd down and 3 zone coverage concept, right? You could run it if you want to, but they don't want to here. There's only 34 seconds left, so I guess it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, but that's not what they're going to do here. Instead, Richardson takes a snap, he looks over here, fires, and again, this is just a situation where, this is not the throw you should be making right here. There is a Texans player stepping in front as of right now. You're on the hash marks towards the bottom of the screen. This is just not a smart play. As you see, this one does get intercepted. Really good play there by Houston, but the good play had already kind of been done prior to Richardson making the throw, and he still makes the throw. So, again, it's not smart football, and it's hard to win when you're doing this stuff. This play, you see that Richardson, just kind of fumbles the it looked like a play action type thing there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Maybe that wasn't his fault. Maybe someone, bumped him or something. But, either way, it's not happening when Flacco's out there, right? That's just the reality of the situation, and, that's a big play. You can't be fumbling the ball there. Of course, this whole situation is this got headlines, last Sunday, so we got to talk about it. So it's a 2nd down and goal in a disastrous situation. A 23-yard line situation. What are you supposed to do? Richardson takes the snap, and to make a bad situation worse, there is a pass rusher who is just on Anthony Richardson. And we're going to see the positive of Richardson here, followed by some negatives. Watch as he's going to, shake off that defensive lineman, rushes forward, eventually gets tackled at the line. But then here's the weird thing. You see how he taps to the sideline? He takes himself out of the play here. He said afterwards he was tired. Flacco comes in, hands the ball off. They kick the field goal. But that's just, it's something that you don't always see. And again, I'm not going to, listen, the guy's running around a lot. Football is an exhausting sport. Certainly, if I had to do that once, I'd be out for the day. I get it. I'm not going to call anyone lazy or anything like that. But it's just something you don't usually see. People have speculated, is this part of, has a team given up on him because he did that? As of now, there's no evidence to support that's what happened, but it is something that did happen in the game, so that's why I'm including it in the video. I'll let you decide how much or how little that actually mattered. But the play like this is really, I think, the biggest issue for the Colts, which is, this is a key play in the game, right? You're not in a great situation, but with 22 seconds left, you're not out of it quite yet either. You need 3 points. Richardson takes the snap. He's going to look down the field, fires down the field, and as of right here, you have, this is Alec Pierce running a pretty good route, actually. There's a window where if Richardson leads him towards the sideline, Richardson's going to make the catch and step out right at midfield. This does 2 things. One, it gives you a chance to try for a Hail Mary, but also with 18 seconds left at midfield, you're in a dome, right? Matt Gay is a pretty accurate kicker. He's not known for his huge leg, but if you can get another, 10, 15 yards, you're certainly giving him a chance, and you could probably work over the middle of the field with 18, 17 seconds left. This throw, though, is just too far to the inside, and listen, Alec Pierce probably could have still caught that, but had he caught it, now he's not getting out of bounds, which means you only have 1 play left. And again, at the end of the day, it's a key situation, and he missed his spot. That's just what happened. So they had a real opportunity and weren't able to quite make it work. So with all these bad plays, and there were some good plays as well, I think, quite frankly, I would say there's no doubt about it that Joe Flacco is the better quarterback and he gives you a better chance to win. And at the end of the day, I understand Richardson's development and all of that. I understand that you might want to, you would love to see him continue to play and continue to improve. And if there was a minor league system in the NFL, you better believe he'd be playing in the minors right now, kind of trying to wait until he can get better. But there's 51 other guys on the roster, right? And there was some bad body language by some of these Colts receivers in this game. You got to be fair to them as well. You got to see what you have in a Donnie Mitchell. He's a young player who you need to develop, right? And if the throws aren't going in a way where he can make the catch, it's hard for him to develop. So I'm kind of honestly, I think it was a fine move to go with Joe Flacco. I get it that in theory, do whatever you can to develop the young quarterback and try to get him to be successful. That helps you so much in the NFL if you can have a young quarterback that is successful. But at a certain point, you're just beating a dead horse, and it's not going to start running. That's part of what happens as well. I think that's what the Colts are doing here. We'll see how well it works out. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.